Hello everyone, welcome back. The other day I was thinking about bikes, and there was this one feature of bikes, that led me to think about human beings. Might sound very bizarre, but I'm talking about the electric start function that is there in all bikes. Whether it is a 100cc scooter or a super bike, you have it. About 2 decades back or 3 decades back, you never had this, right? It used to be always kickstart, keep kicking, right? Whether it is a scooter, and there are a lot of jokes in India about the Bajaj scooters and the kicking that is required. Great technology advancement by human beings. We've moved from kicking to self-start or electric start, which makes life easier. Great. But on the other side, what we've done is reverse engineering, where we've moved from being self-started or self-motivated to requiring a kick in a positive or a negative way most of the time, right? With due respect to this particular thing called motivational speakers, right? I myself have done that role sometimes, but like 10-15 years back, you used to never have people called motivational speakers. What does it mean? Does it mean that the generations before us didn't have any problems at all? While we are saying that technology helps life make easier, then actually it means that people who lived in technologically lesser advanced times had a lot more problems, isn't it? But the challenge is that today we have so many things that is happening around us, and we have actually lost the art of being self-motivated. That electric start within us is wearing out, and I don't think that is the right thing or the right place to be in. Right? So how do we what is the problem? Even before we look at how do we fix this, right? I feel there are 3 reasons that actually cause this. Number one is too much of attachment towards a goal, excessive attachment towards destination or goal. We are so attached to the destination or goal that we actually don't enjoy the journey at all. And what happens is we forget that life is one where the goalpost is always moving. It's never a fixed goalpost, right? And what happens is when a goalpost moves, we just don't know what to do. We feel depressed, we are not motivated, and then you need somebody to come and kick you from, either in a positive way or in a negative way, whichever thing it may be. Now, what is required is enjoying the journey. Let me give an example of a sales pitch, right? How many people really enjoy the sales pitch? 9 out of 10 people think that, let this person buy out the product, right? Let this person buy out the product, and they are just going on, on a spree of, what they have memorized. Now, knowing that they have 0% control over the mood of the person they are trying to sell this product to, right? However, if they focus on the sales pitch, maybe they could do a better pitch the next time. They could better it further. Right? The same thing with students, right? Who want to get great marks, but are we thinking about knowledge or marks? Right? Finding the balance is very important. Does the student control where and when his examination paper is going to be corrected? Right? Do we know the mood of the person who's correcting the examination paper? No, we don't. Right? But enjoying the journey, that's why I say, is very important. And the more we enjoy the journey, right, we will actually discover different ways of getting to the destination. And that's what is important. So if you have a goal, great, and you should have one, no doubt about it. But don't be severely attached to the goal. Rather, enjoy the journey of getting to the goal. The second thing, in terms of why we are not able to be self-motivated, is excessive comparison, right? We do excessive comparative study with our lives with others, right? Our standard of living with others' standard of living. My education versus somebody's education. My corporate title versus somebody else's corporate title. And always trying to mimic somebody else. That I don't think is really going to help. I mean, that's honestly the fact, right? Because what is happening is you are losing yourself, and when you lose yourself, how can you be self-motivated? How can you be motivated from within to do anything at all? Because you don't internally relate with something else that you're running towards, rather you're sprinting towards. So that is something that we need to really spend some thought on. Well, for example, again coming back to bikes, right? You may have a scooter at home which is 125cc, and you will have a Ducati, let's say for example. Mama calls and says, hey, go to the market, buy a kilo of vegetables and come back. Are you going to take your Ducati? No, right? Obviously, you're going to be really funny. You're going to get social media savvy by that time, because everyone's going to make fun of you on taking a Ducati for carrying a bag of vegetables. So, but Ducati has its own uses, and the 125cc bike has its own uses, right? So it's about identifying what am I. Aspiring to get somewhere is great, right? That comparison is required. But when you do excessive comparison with somebody external and do zero comparison with what you were maybe a week back, a month back, a year back, that is where it becomes too challenging. You get too tired, looking externally, looking up at, somebody else all the time. And then that frustration comes in, and when frustration comes in, what's going to happen is you're not going to be motivated, right? Then back to kickstart. Somebody has to come kick, and then you realize, and then you again start running, right? You need to come out of this cycle. Just look at this example, right? We have different kinds of animals in the forest. An elephant is majestic in its own way, as a tiger is also a majestic animal in its own way. Imagine an elephant looking at a tiger and wondering, oh, why am I not as fast and as majestic as a tiger? Can you imagine what the elephant is really missing out on?